The Montagu family are British peers with dukedoms all over the United Kingdom. The family is also deeply involved in merchant banking and are strong supporters of British Zionism. They were the founders of the Bank of England. They have married with and work closely with the Percys as well as the Scott, Douglas, and Hamilton families of Scotland and England. The Percy family have frequently married with the Montagus, and they are headed up by Duke Ralph Percy, the 12th Duke of Northumberland, Jane Percy, the Duchess of Northumberland, George Percy, Katie Percy, Melissa Percy, and Max Percy. Duke Ralph Percy's mother was a Montagu. The Percys are an extremely evil family, and they specialize in military and sexual sadistic mind control. They murder people as human sacrifices. They are extreme sexual sadists. They burn children alive. The Percys are managers of the English singer Adele, who also burns children alive. The Percys are covert leaders of the Royal Ark Mariner Freemasons, a degree used in various Masonic lodges. Algernon Percy, the 6 Hours Duke of Percy, worked directly for the Board of Admiralty of the Royal Navy. They established an American branch founded by Thomas George Percy, and he established their plantation called Trail Lake. Leroy Percy was a politician in Mississippi and slave owner, and his descendant was Walker Percy. Barbara Pierce Bush was from the Percy clan, and Walker Percy took the name Walker for his family's marriage with the Walker family, which were slave traders, and that family also married with the Bush family. Walker Percy's father was Leroy Pope Percy, and his ancestor was Leroy Pope Walker. Their ancient name was Percy. The Percys are demonic sex wizards, and they own Alnwick Castle, where various movies were filmed including Harry Potter. The Percys own Sion House in London as well. On the Montagu's Buccleuch coat of arms they use the 6-pointed star, which is a common symbol for Zionism. Their various family branches own estates and palaces all over the United Kingdom. HSBC recently incorporated Samuel Montagu and Company into their multi-billion-dollar private equity firm, later re-established as Montagu Private Equity, which manages about $5 billion in assets. The Montagus are married with a Jewish Dreyfus family, with Françoise Christiane Dreyfus Montagu, the Baroness Sweelinck, married to David Charles Samuel Montagu, the 4th Baron Sweelinck, who died in 1998. The Dreyfus family own a major merchant corporation and various banks all over the world, including a private bank in Switzerland. The Montagu barons of Beaulieu have at least billions concealed in private Swiss banks and likely control over tens of billions. The Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, was established by London bankers and Nazi businessmen like Baron Montagu Norman, the former governor of the Bank of England, and his friend Hilmar Schacht, who was a Nazi associate and a banker. Both Baron Montagu Norman and Hilmar Schacht were original members of the Bank for International Settlements. Baron Montagu Norman takes the first name Montagu for his ancestor Edward Montagu, the 1st Baron Montagu of Baden. The Bank for International Settlements is involved in tax schemes on the nations through its contracts with central banks. Charles Montagu, the 1st Earl of Halifax, worked at the Crown's Treasury, and he developed the Bank of England, which is located at the City of London Corporation, and he then became the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or head of the Crown Treasury. The Montagus are top international bankers. Edwin Samuel Montagu was Secretary of State in India under the British Empire. The Montagu family are an old Italian Norman nobility that settled in France before becoming British peers around 1149, and further gained baronages through serving the Roman Catholic Edward III of England under Baron Simon de Montagu. William de Montagu, the 2nd Earl of Salisbury, was a co-founder of the Order of the Garter. The Order of the Garter are the continuation of the Knights Templar of London, and they manage the City of London Corporation. The Knights Templar were the original Zionists. The name Montagu derives from the Latin words montana for mountain and acuto for sharp, and takes the name from Mount Acuto in Umbria, Italy. The Montagus and Percys control Sharpen International, a private military company based in Australia, which are covertly involved in human trafficking and contract killing. The Montagus have residences in Australia, with Alexander Montagu being born there. The murderous actor Travis Fimmel is from Australia and is an agent of the Percys and Montagus. He was in the show Vikings, which included the Percys' ancestral kingdom of Northumbria, which killed Travis Fimmel's character in the show. Travis Fimmel is really evil and murders people as human sacrifices. He is psychotic. Families from Umbria like the House of Baglioni often did business in both Venice and Florence, as Umbria is located in the middle. Montana Acuto also established the name of a commune in France called Montana-Agu, where the Montagu family first became established. The Montagu family has intermarried with the Percy family of Northumberland, and the Norman family are proxy for them. The Montagu, Percy, and Norman families all have Norman ancestry and are working together. The Percy family came into England in the 11th century after the Norman conquest. Normans were really Alanus of Scythia and not Nordics. They are impostors. This is why many members of the Percy family take the name Alan, including Duke Ralph Percy's dead brother Henry Alan Walter Richard Percy, his grandfather Alan Percy, the 8th Duke of Northumberland, and Alan Percy of the 16th century. The Percys are officially worth hundreds of millions, however they have large amounts of concealed wealth and private banks. George Percy is the CEO of Hotspur Geothermal and was educated at Damascus University and speaks Arabic. Members of the Montagu crime family include the very evil Ralph Douglas Scott Montagu, the 4th Baron Montagu of Bewley, Richard Walter John Montagu Douglas Scott, the 10th Duke of Buccleuch and 12th Duke of Queensberry, Walter John Francis Montagu Douglas Scott, the Earl of Dalkeith, and the psychotic criminal Alexander Montagu, the 13th Duke of Manchester. Alexander Montagu Prince Richard Windsor, the Duke of Gloucester, is a Montagu through his mother Princess Alice. Prince Richard is the commander of the Barons Montagu. The Montagu barons have greater international influences in banking than the Rothschild family. The Montagu family is also involved in financing Nazi-style gang stalking, insider trading like most of the British merchants, and also financial fraud. Duke Ralph Percy, the 12th Duke of Northumberland, and his wife Jane Percy. Duke Ralph Percy is a Montagu through his mother, who was born Elizabeth Montagu Douglas Scott. Duke Ralph Percy is a sadistic sex wizard and a top member of the cult of Neptune and a top authority over the Royal Ark Mariner Freemasons. Ralph and his wife Jane are child murderers. Duke Ralph Percy is their modern-day Deucalion, who is connected with the Greek flood myth. The floods in the Greek and Hebrew mythologies refer to them making sexual-based human sacrifices which cause excessive and unnational orgasms. End of reading.